In the dimly lit basement of a long-abandoned newspaper office, a team of renovators stumbled upon a discovery that would send chills down their spines. Tucked away in a forgotten corner, a rusted filing cabinet stood silent, its contents locked away for decades. Little did they know, this unassuming piece of office furniture held within it a collection of documents that would come to be known as the Ghost Files, a series of meticulously documented paranormal encounters spanning from the swinging 60s to the dawn of the new millennium. As the lock was finally broken and the drawers creaked open, a musty scent of aged paper filled the air. Inside, neatly organized folders revealed a treasure trove of the unexplained. Security guards fleeing from unseen pursuers, families tormented by spectral visitors in their own homes, and perhaps most unsettling of all, audio recordings that captured voices from beyond the grave. Each file told a different tale of horror, complete with faded photographs, sworn statements from shaken witnesses, and curious objects tied to each haunting case. One by one, the files were carefully extracted and examined. The first folder contained the account of a night watchman at an old textile mill. His report, penned in trembling handwriting, described shadowy figures that would appear in his peripheral vision, always vanishing when he turned to look. Attached was a grainy security camera image, showing a misty form hovering near a row of idle looms. Another file detailed the plight of the Johnson family, whose dream home became a nightmare. Their children spoke of a sad lady who would appear in their rooms at night, her face obscured by a dark veil. Mrs. Johnson's diary entries grew increasingly frantic, describing objects moving on their own and the constant feeling of being watched. A photograph showed a family portrait with an inexplicable blurry figure standing behind them, unnoticed at the time it was taken. Perhaps the most chilling evidence came in the form of EVP recordings, electronic voice phenomena, captured during various investigations. As the tapes were played, the silence of the basement was broken by whispers and moans that sent shivers down the spine of even the most skeptical listener. One particularly haunting audio clip featured a child's laughter, followed by the words, "Help me," spoken in a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of eternity. As the investigator delved deeper into the files, a disturbing pattern began to emerge. Despite the varied nature of the hauntings and their geographic spread across the state, certain elements appeared with eerie consistency. Witnesses in different cases described seeing the same tall, dark figure lurking in the background of their encounters. EVP recordings from separate investigations seemed to capture the same low, guttural growl. It was as if a single sinister presence was weaving its way through each haunting, connecting them all in a web of supernatural terror. The more the investigator pieced together the evidence, the more unsettling the implications became. This wasn't just a collection of random ghost stories. It was the chronicle of something far more malevolent. And as the research deepened, a creeping sensation began to take hold. The feeling of being observed, of unseen eyes following every move, grew stronger with each passing day. Strange occurrences began to manifest around the investigator. At first, it was easy to dismiss. A book falling from a shelf, a cold spot in an otherwise warm room. But as the days wore on, the incidents escalated. Shadows seemed to move of their own accord in the periphery of vision. The sound of footsteps echoed in empty hallways. One morning, the investigator awoke to find all the ghost files scattered across the floor, despite having been securely locked away the night before. The line between researcher and subject began to blur. Was this simply the power of suggestion, the mind playing tricks after immersing itself in tales of the supernatural? Or had the act of opening these long-sealed files awakened something that should have remained dormant? The investigator found themselves checking over their shoulder more frequently, startling at every unexpected sound. As the hauntings intensified, so did the investigator's determination to uncover the truth. Each new piece of evidence seemed to lead closer to the heart of the mystery, yet also deeper into danger. The entity whatever it was, seemed aware of the investigation and was pushing back. Objects would go missing, only to reappear in impossible locations. Nightmares plagued the investigator's sleep, filled with visions of the dark figure from the files reaching out with grasping, shadowy hands. In a feverish state of both fear and fascination, the investigator realized that one crucial file was missing from the collection. The final report, dated just days before the newspaper office was abandoned, was nowhere to be found. This missing piece held the potential to tie everything together, to perhaps reveal the true nature of the entity and how to stop it. But as the search for the lost file intensified, so did the supernatural activity surrounding the investigator. The distinction between the past hauntings, documented in the ghost files, and the present-day experiences of the investigator became increasingly blurred. It was as if the boundary between the world of the living and the realm of spirits had worn thin, allowing the entity to cross over more fully. The investigator's home became a hotbed of paranormal activity, mirroring the accounts from the old case files. Doors slammed on their own, objects levitated, and the air was constantly thick with an oppressive, unseen presence. As the story reaches its climax, the investigator makes a chilling discovery. Hidden behind a loose brick in the basement wall, a final envelope is found. With trembling hands, it's opened to reveal a single photograph, a group shot of the newspaper staff from decades ago. And there, standing in the back row, is a face that sends ice through the investigator's veins. It's their own face, unchanged by time, staring back from the past. The realization hits like a physical blow. The entity hasn't just been watching. It's been waiting for this moment, for this investigator, to complete a cycle that began long before the first ghost file was ever created. As the photograph slips from numb fingers, the basement lights flicker and die. In the darkness, the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps approaches. The investigation has come full circle, and the true haunting is only just beginning.